So this is going to be your review for Chapter 1. At the end of the video, I'm going to ask you to complete a little review quiz for 50 points. So make sure you pay attention, you get everything on here, because you're probably going to be asked about it. Example 1, this is from Section 1 in Chapter 1. It's super easy. What I want you to do for Example 1 is rewrite the statement in numbers and letters, and for Example 2 I want you to rewrite the expression in words. So we're kind of doing the opposite. So Example 1, the product of a number and 737. So product tells you to multiply, so I'm going to write that above the word product, multiply. Of a number, of also tells you to multiply. Of a number, if they don't tell you the number, you're going to give it a variable, so you just pick a letter, and it doesn't matter which letter you choose. I'm going to use T. And 737. So I'm going to multiply T and 737. So you can write it this way, T times 737. But that symbol that you're sometimes using for multiplication looks like an X. So we don't want to get that confused with the variable X. So let's maybe use a dot instead of the X. Or you could also write just 737T. And that's your symbols, your numbers and symbols. Now Example 2, I want you to take this and I want you to write it in words. So the simple way to do it would just say 12. And the word for this is plus A. 12 plus A. So that's one way you could do it. 12 plus, let's do a letter. Not a letter. A number. If you wanted to get fancier, you could say 12 more than a number. There's a few different ways you can write this. I'm just going to give you these two. Okay? Example 3, I want you to do 5 to the 3rd power. So you can put it in your calculator, but why don't you just write it out? 5 times 5 times 5. It's 125. Okay? B, I want you to evaluate. So what that means is you're going to take, since C equals 3 and D equals 5, you're going to take 3 and put it in for every C. And you're going to take D and put it in for every 5. So right here you're just going to replace D with 5. So it's going to be 2 plus 5 squared minus 3 squared. So that's 7 squared minus 3 squared. So 49 minus 9. So my answer is 40. And C, you're going to replace the C with a 3, the D with a 5, plus 4. And I want you to notice that the 2, the exponent 2, is only on the 5. So we'll do that first. 5 squared is 25. So it's 3 times 25 plus 4. Do multiplication next. So that's 75 plus 4, which is going to be 79. Okay? Alright, Example 4. Answer these questions. Is pi rational or irrational? So the difference between a rational number is that a rational number can be written as a fraction. And an irrational number can't. It's going to be a decimal that never stops and never repeats. Okay, so what do you know about pi? It's 3.14. No, it's not 3.14. It's about 3.14. It actually goes on forever. So that means pi is irrational. Okay? B and C, I want you to estimate square roots. So if you want to estimate the square root of 99, that's going to be between 9 squared, which is 81, and 10 squared, which is 100. And since 99 is closer to 100, we're going to say it's probably like 9.9 something. So let's say the square root of 99 is approximately 9.98. And if you want to, you can check it in your calculator. Alright, square root of 48, that's between 6 squared, which is 36, and 7 squared, which is 49. So 48 is between 36 and 49. And since 7 squared, 49, is closer to 48, your estimation of this number is going to be closer to 7. So the square root of 48 is going to be approximately 6.96. I'm just picking numbers. Close to what I think it might be. Alright, example 5, I want you to simplify. So I want you to use the order of operations, and I want you to remember how you can add like terms. So -8 and -23 I can combine. So that means that's going to be 9W plus, and these are same sign, add and keep. So that's going to be -31. And you don't want to write it that way. So let's write it out in a simple version. 9W minus 31. B. 4/3 times 0 times -20. What is anything times 0? 0. So this times 0 is 0. And since this is 0, that times -20 is 0. So the answer to that is 0. C. 6 plus 3 divided by 9. Do the top first. 6 plus 3 is 9. Divided by 9 is 1. Okay? So you use your order of operations. Example 6. I want you to simplify. 3 plus -8. You've got 3. Take 8 away, so you're going to have -5. There's a simple rule for that. Same sign, add and keep. Different signs like these, you subtract. 8 minus 3 is 5. And then you keep the sign of the higher number, so it's -5. B, you're going to multiply. So -2 times -2 is 4. 4 times -2 is -8. C, you're going to evaluate. And when you hear the word evaluate, that means you're going to take a value for a variable and plug it in. So since P is 5 and Q is -3, this is going to be 5 times -3 squared, which will be -15 squared, which is positive 225. Alright, example 6, let's simplify again. Okay, I've got this 5 that needs to be multiplied by all of this stuff. So what property do I need to use? The distributive property. So we're going to distribute that and get 10x minus 15. And that's it. That's all you can do. You simplified it. B. V squared and V squared. Since they're like terms, you can combine them. So it's 3V squared minus 2V squared. Keep the variable. Combine the numbers. 3 minus 2 is 1. And you don't really have to put the 1 there. That's optional. Last example, example 8. Is this point a solution to this line? meaning is this point on that line. So in an ordered pair, the first number is x and the second number is y. So you're going to evaluate this equation when x is 1 and y is 8. So that's going to be 3 times 1 plus 5 equals 8. Does 3 plus 5 equal 8? Yes. So the answer to the question is yes. That's ugly. Let's do that again. Yes. B is this point a solution to this equation? So again, you're going to plug the first number in for x and the second number in for y. So when you evaluate, you get 0 equals -2 times -6 plus 3, which is going to be -2 times -3, which is +6, but it's not 0, so the answer to this part is no. This point does not lie on this line. This point is not a solution to this equation. Okay? Now, I want you to get a separate sheet of paper out and number to 10.